everyone. Glad to see you. It's Friday. We made it one full week. 3 more weeks to go, I hope. So, some people asked me when I was talking to some parents, like the kids wanted to know, what am I doing all day? Well, I make videos, I plan the lessons, I check to see who's been on iStation and who's been on iReady. If you're getting hundreds, I have been organizing. I've been doing some research on what we need to learn next and how best to teach it from here at the school and you're at home. I've also been reading. I finished the book, 42 is Not Just a Number, about Jackie Robinson. It was so awesome. I'm taking my reading counts test in just a little bit. I'm going to read these 2 books this weekend, some I Survived books. I love them. I have lots of them here at the school, and you've all been able to see those. And I've been doing some cleaning, and while I was cleaning, I found these 2 books from my husband's grandma, and then they were given to me, and I'd forgotten that I had them. They are spelling books, and how they are the books that kids would learn how to spell back in the day. I don't even want to open this one all the way. This book was written in 1880. Right here, it says 1880. That makes it 140 years old. Kids had to do spelling back then too. This one was written in 1883, I think. Yep, 1883. This one has little stories, and then it teaches them how to write the words. I don't think they had fun games like we do for spelling and things. Anyway, speaking of fun, let's get into our lesson. Today we're going to start out by learning about multiplication, counting by 5s, timesing by 5s. It's all the same thing. So I want us to do this one together. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to get your paper. Make sure you have it. I'll wait for you. Do 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 do. Are you back? Great, we're ready to go. So the directions say, write the number of equal groups for each set and write a multiplication problem. The first one has been done. Multiplication just means equal groups, and instead of counting each one by one, we just count in groups. So instead of saying, oh, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can look at my hand and know immediately that this is 5. And if I have 2 hands, then of course it's 5 and 10. That's what we're going to do here. So fingers on each hand. There's only one group of 5. So they wrote one group of 5 right there. That means 1 times 5. The times sign actually means groups of. So if you think of that times sign as meaning groups of, sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. So let's go to number 2. Fingers on each hand. Well, how many groups do we have here? 1, 2. So we'd write 2 groups of 5. Another way of saying that is 2 times 5, remembering that the times sign means groups of, so 2 groups of 5. Oh, we should write the answer. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 5, 10. Okay, next one. Fingers on each hand. How many groups do we have? Count them up. Yes, we have 3. So 3 groups of, and there are 5 fingers on each hand, so 3 groups of 5. And then we're going to write the problem. 3 times 5 equals, we can count by 5s, 5, 10, 15. 3 groups of 5 is 15. You know, that makes me think of a clock when we were learning about clocks. When we start when we start counting minutes, the 1 on the clock means 5 minutes has passed. The 2 on the clock means 10 minutes have passed. The 3 on the clock means 15 minutes have passed. We were just timesing by 5s when we were doing the clockwork. Okay, let's do the next one. Fingers on each hand. Of course, there are 5. How many groups of 5 are there? Count them up. Right, there are 4. So we're going to write 4 groups of 5. And knowing that the times sign means groups of, we can then write 4 times 5 equals, you counted up this time. Did you get 20? I did. 5, 10, 15, 20. Last one. Fingers on each hand. Of course, there's 5. How many groups are there? You go ahead and write it first, then we'll correct and see if we're right together. Do, 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 do. That should be long enough. How many groups were there? I hope you got 5. 5 groups of 5. You write the times problem or the times number sentence, multiplication number sentence. I hope you wrote 5 times means groups of, 5 fingers equals 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. There we go. You just did multiplication. We'll keep working on that because that helps us with clocks. Awesome. Wow, and we did a paper together. Okay, the next one is all about evens and odds. Good reminder. Remember that even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. It doesn't matter what comes before the last number. It's only the last number we look at. So on this paper, if I look at this one right here, oh, I forgot to read the rest. Odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. It says, so we're going to look at this. We don't look at the 1 in the 100 spot or the 9 in the 10 spot. We only look at the ones. It's a 2. 2s are even. If it's even, we're going to color that pink. Let's look at the next one. It ends in a 1. If I look up here, any number that ends in a 1 is odd, so it's going to be purple. You're going to do that for all of them. Good review. Remember, we're not looking at the hundreds digit or the tens digit. We're only looking at the digit in the ones place. Okay, contractions. We've worked on contractions before. Remember we cut apart the words and took out parts. I think we did it in December, so this is a really good review. I have some little hints for us. Sometimes we see the words like she and will. We can put those together, she and will, to make a new word, a contraction. This sign says that if we're using the word will, we're going to change will to whatever the word is, she, then add an apostrophe or a sky comma and 2 L's. She'll. She will is the 2 words. She'll is the contraction. Let's do another one. We'll put this right here. Are. Are can be used for contractions too. Like we are. We are going to the store. Well, sometimes we don't want to write or we don't want to say both we are. We can change that. So we use the we. Then we use apostrophe R-E. We take out that A. Squish it together. Now we have we're. We are going to the store. Means the same thing. Okay, let's do another one. Not is also used for contractions. Let's see, a word, did not. I did not eat very healthy food yesterday. So I can change that to did, the blank means use the real word, then it's N apostrophe T. We're taking out that O, didn't. You can do the same thing for is. He is. We would write he again. That's the blank. And then it's just apostrophe S. He's going to the store. And the last one for today is have. I have a book to read. Instead of saying I have a book to read, I could say I've. Write the word I, apostrophe, and then we only use the VE. We take out those two letters. I've a book to read. That sounds weird, but it's correct. Okay, so on this paper, all you're going to do is take the two words right here in the ice cream scoops and then write the contraction below. Cannot, we'd write can, an apostrophe T. That one's tricky because we don't want two N's and the N is already there in can. Let's do has not. We'd write has, and then we're going to use the N apostrophe T, hasn't. Let's do this one, that is. We write that, and all we use is apostrophe S at the end. That's. If you have questions on this, make sure you email me, call me, we can work together. This should be pretty easy. You can also pause the video and use these posters if you need some help. Okay, next one is a writing activity. By the way, your stories are excellent that I've been getting. Yesterday I was able to see Jace's and Jersey's and Austin's. I love that. That's fun for me to read. This time it looks like it's all about rain. Here's some words that you could use: puddles, umbrella, splash, frogs, and worms. Remember to stay on topic. Use complete sentences that have a subject and a predicate. Use the right punctuation. Check your spelling to make sure it's correct, especially these words down here. And then use descriptive language. Descriptive language is like the five senses. How does it smell? How does it feel? How does it taste? I don't know if you want to taste anything there. How does it look? How does it sound? Can't wait to hear your stories or see your stories. And then this one was a little bit trickier. So I've given you some ideas. This is all about windy conditions in the world. It says in like a lion because some people say March comes in like a lion, meaning it's terrible weather. It goes out like a lamb because it's usually nice. It's so cold here right now. I don't know if it's going to leave like a lamb. Anyway, read this story. Then you're going to answer the questions. I have given you some sentence frames. It says, what do people in the capital of New Zealand probably do on very windy days? You're going to write something like, people in New Zealand blank on very windy days. There's your sentence frame. The next one says, what makes a place in Antarctica the windiest place on Earth? Here's your sentence frame. Antarctica is the windiest place because blank. As you're reading about Antarctica right up here, it says that it has average wind speeds that are the highest in the world. And average means that every day it's windy. And then they take all of the miles per hour that the wind is blowing, average it together, add it together, divide it. There's a whole formula for that. And over time, it is the windiest place in the whole world because their average speed is windiest. One day it might be 150 and the next day it's 20 miles an hour. But when they put those together, they get an average. So overall, Antarctica has the highest. The next one says, why isn't Oklahoma the windiest place on Earth? And then my sentence frame was, Oklahoma isn't the windiest because, and over here it talks about how Oklahoma had the highest wind speed ever one day, only on one day. and that was 300 miles per hour because it was during a tornado. So that only happened one day. So that might help you answer the question. Okay, last thing for this week is our last math paper. This one is again using two-digit numbers to do addition and subtraction. You're going to solve each problem using a math mountain. And then the equation number 1 says, Jayla's mother planted 78 tulip bulbs. She planted 19 daffodil bulbs. How many bulbs did she plant in all? Remember that in all is usually a clue for us to know that we are looking for the total. How many bulbs did she plant in all? So all together, we're looking for this number. It says that she planted 78 tulips and she planted 19 daffodils. You know how to do that. If we're looking for the total, then we add. If we're looking for an addend, we subtract. Let's see. I think almost all of these are going to be looking for a total. Looks to me. Check it out. See if I'm right. If I'm wrong, make sure you let me know. Okay, boys and girls, I think that's it for the day. Have a great weekend. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Be kind to each other out there. And remember that you can do hard things. Some of this work might be hard, but you can do it. We're all doing hard things. We're all learning how to learn in a different way. Have a great weekend. Miss you all. Goodbye.